What's going on, guys? It's Lecton here, and today I'm going to be ranking the ARs from worst to best. I would like to say, this is all subject to my own opinion, so if you guys do have some other opinion on what gun is better or worse, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I usually don't ask this, but be sure to smash like because this video is very hard to do. And just so you know, I'm going to be basically rating the weapons just off how they are without attachments, because with attachments it kind of just turns into, oh, you can make this gun super overpowered, but you have to have max level attachments for it or something like that. So we're just gonna be basing it off the main gun and without any attachments, maybe other than scopes, for example. So anyways, coming in our last spot, we have the FAL here. I'd say a big reason of why this gun is coming in at the last spot is just for the fact that it's semi-auto. So if I hold the trigger, nothing happens. So it's right now, all it is semi-auto. Maybe in the future, we'll get an attachment for it that can make it full auto. That might make it a bit better. And while it does do the most damage out of any AR in the game, you really have to have a really fast trigger finger for this gun to really work. Because if you're kind of just like me or any other bad business player, you can't really click 500 times a minute or whatever, which is the max RPM of this gun. So I mean, you'll just end up doing something like I am right now, and I would probably have killed that guy a lot faster, for example, if I had an automatic AR. Coming up next, we have the Famas. Now, while this gun may be very insane to some people, to me, I can't really use burst weapons too well, man. I just can't, alright? That's probably one of the main reasons it's getting the spot. I mean, everything else about it is pretty good, but burst weapons, they just don't work for me at all. I will say though, if you play a bit more of a slower play style and are pretty good with burst weapons, I would highly recommend you use burst weapons, alright? So, because they can just beam people, if they're standing still, I'm pretty sure you can if you hit all headshots with this, then you can get just an easy one burst, but for me, I'm just not that good with these guns. And next up, we got the G11, another burst gun. I'd say I prefer this burst weapon a bit more over the Famas, just because, you can use it at very long sight ranges, which if I were ever to use a burst weapon, I would probably be doing something like that, so that's why this would probably fit into my more, I guess, burst persona or whatever. But this gun, it still does pretty good damage, and it shoots 4 bullets per burst. And of course, you can't forget, it basically has a 50 round mag, which is really insane. But again, I mean, for me, man, I can't use burst weapons. Next up, we got the AK-47. Now, I think a lot of people are gonna question my decision with this one. I mean, it's literally a rank 0 gun, but I mean, I don't really want to base these guns off what rank you get them at or whatever, because I mean, then obviously, I mean, I would be just biased towards picking one gun over the other because, oh, it's a lower rank or something. But I'd say this is a very good starter gun. It has a slow fire rate, so you don't run out of ammo extremely fast. It has 30 bullets in the mag, and it also has very low recoil, even without any attachments on it. So I'd say once you get better at the game, this gun isn't exactly the best to use because of its 540 fire rate, which kind of sucks. But if you're just starting out at the game, this is a very good starter weapon, to help you learn the ropes of the game and stuff. Next on my list, I have the ASVAL here. Now, I can already tell some of you are furiously typing, bro, are you stupid? The ASVAL is one of the best ARs in the game. But, I mean, think about it. It shoots extremely fast, and it only has 20 bullets in the mag, alright? Just off of that, you're not going to be winning those, team fights. If you see, more than one person, most of the time, you will probably not get that second kill. And while I will say this gun is a 1v1 machine and it just destroys people at close range, it also only has a 50 damage range or something like that before the damage starts dropping down, which is extremely low. And of course, on top of that, this gun has extreme recoil, and it's pretty much impossible to use at longer ranges. I mean, maybe with some attachments that are really low recoil setups, this gun might be a bit more usable at longer ranges, but again, it also doesn't do any damage then, so what's really the point? Next on my list, I got the Honey Badger. So this gun it's pretty much the same thing as the ASVAL, except it also has 30 bullets and slightly reduced recoil. So I think if you're looking for a really aggressive gun to use, then you might want to go with the Honey Badger instead, since you can at least take 2 people on without having to reload at all. But what I just don't like about this gun at all is just it's horizontal recoil, man. It has a ton of it. Look at this. But if you're playing on something like Chernobyl, where you only get really in super close range fights, this gun might be the way to go. Next up, we got the STG-44. Now, this is kind of the complete opposite of what the ASVAL and Honey Badger were. This gun I'm pretty sure it's the slowest shooting AR in the game, but it's also the highest damaging. It does 40 damage to the legs and the chest, while doing 57 damage to the head. Like, that's kind of crazy. It also has 30 bullets in the mag, and it doesn't have too much recoil. Like, the recoil is pretty controllable. But keep in mind, this gun is also part of the World War II pass, so you would have to, like, you know, spend some money or just grind out some credits if you did want to unlock this gun. Next up, we got the ARX 160. And I'd say the main reason that this is going above the ASVAL and Honey Badger is it's literally just because of its recoil, alright? I mean, it does slower fire rate, and I think it does like the same damage or something around there. But I mean, it's still all around a pretty good gun with a 690 fire rate. And obviously, of course, the pretty decent damage it does. And it's a recoil. I'd say this is a pretty good, like, all-around gun. Like, we're kind of getting to, like, that point where, like, all of these ARs, like, it comes down to kind of just personal preference. Next up, we have the Scar H. This gun is kind of just an improved version of the STG-44 in many ways. It has a faster fire rate. It also has way less recoil. And while it does only have 20 bullets in the mag, it can also 3-shot to the head and 4-shot to the legs and to the body. And I mean, the hipfire on this gun, at least to me, it just seems extremely accurate. I mean, I don't know, it might just be me, but the hipfire is pretty good on this gun. Next up, we got the TAR-21. While this gun did receive some pretty big nerfs, like, I mean, it literally only has 80 handling, this thing, it still absolutely shreds at close range. Like, it can still 3-shot to the head, which is, you know, pretty crazy considering this gun has 800 fire rate. It seems to only really have vertical recoil, so, I mean, if you can just pull down enough, you know, then you're good. And the gun also has 30 bullets. So, I mean, so this is probably, like, one of the only, like, fast-firing ARs that I would actually use. I mean, I just seem to find this gun better than the ASVAL and Honey Badger. And it's also a lot more fun to use. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the M16. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. This thing, it's kind of a beast. Like, it can 3-shot to the head, it has a 600 fire rate, 30 bullets, and it doesn't have that much recoil. And I mean, this gun also has a range up to 300 studs, which it also has some pretty low recoil. So, you know, this can be a close range and a long range AR. Same goes for the next gun, which is the Glow. This gun has even lower recoil than the M16, and I mean, it doesn't drop damage up to 350 studs. So I would consider this, like, to be probably one of the best ARs in the entire game, especially for people that can't handle recoil that well. This thing is just crazy good. Because when you think about it, no recoil can just laser people at long ranges, 4 shots to the body. Plus it also does have 35 bullets in the mag. Like, I don't know why this gun has a bit of a mag buff, but you know what? It's just crazy, alright? Next up, I think you all knew this was coming. In the number 2 spot, we have the G36C. Now, I don't know why this gun still hasn't received, like, one of its major nerfs or something. Like, it's literally a level 10 gun, but it's just crazy, alright? I mean, it has extremely low recoil. It has a 700 fire rate, and it does tons of damage, doing up to 45 damage to the head and 36 to the body. And coming up in the number 1 spot, we have the M4A1. I don't know what it is, man, but I absolutely love this gun, alright? It's an extremely overpowered considering its recoil, but just everything about it, man, is so awesome. Like, it has an 800 fire rate, it does 45 damage to the head, which is kind of insane considering this gun's fire rate. And even though it does only have a damage range up to, like, something like 140 studs, I mean, if you just play kind of aggressive with this thing, like, you don't have to play super aggressive, but if you just play kind of aggressive, you know, this thing, it just becomes a beast. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.